Just imagine your daughter calling you and you're having this conversation. Y'all talk all the time. And your daughter ends the phone call with, "Mom, I'm going to call you back tomorrow." Tomorrow comes, but you never hear your daughter's voice again. You don't hear her voice, no phone call, no return of your texts, your phone calls. Naturally, you get worried. Show up at your daughter's house to see what's going on. As a parent, that feeling of worry never goes away when your children doesn't answer your phone call. In this case, you go to your daughter's house. Not much seems out of place. Not much seems disturbed, but your daughter's missing. You got that gut feeling that something's wrong. Something's just not right. Why? Maybe because your daughter left those expensive eyeglasses that she saved up to get. Maybe it's because she left her phone there and you know she never leaves home without her phone. Point is, as a parent, as a mother, you know something's wrong. So a little time passes, you go to the police station. You go to the police station and tell them that your daughter's missing. Police tell you, "Oh, she might have just, needed some time to blow off steam. She may just be hanging out with some friends. She might just not want to be bothered right now. Maybe she caught up in some illegal activity that she don't want you to know about." Then you have to go through the drama of convincing the police that your daughter is actually missing, that she would not leave without letting you know. Even if she was just going on vacation, even if she just wanted to disappear for a little bit to blow off steam, she would at least call, because the last conversation you had was, "Mom, I'll talk to you tomorrow." What if the police still didn't believe you? You had to show them texts of you speaking every day for them to take your case serious. What if this was your reality as a black mother? Here to tell you, this is the reality of a lot of black mothers out here today. According to statistics, and these numbers are going to be mismatched, they're saying 64,000 African American women are missing right now. Some statistics say over 230,000 African American women are missing right now. Where are they? Where did they disappear to? Where did they go? Well, there's a bunch of theories on where it possibly could go. If you ask the police, most cases they say these African American women just, they ran away. They just needed to blow off some steam. They're runaways, or maybe, they got caught in some illicit activities, some illegal activities, and they don't want to be found. Other people might say aliens abducted them. Aliens abducted these African American women. Now listen, I'm not into the theories of aliens and stuff. I don't know if aliens exist. I'm still waiting for the government to say, whether aliens exist or not. Also heard the theory of what's it called? FEMA camps. Heard the theory of FEMA camps, and a lot of these African American women are being held in FEMA camps. Now some of you probably wonder, what the hell is FEMA camp? What is a FEMA camp anyway? Well, let me just give you a quick, brief history on what FEMA camps are and what FEMA is. FEMA was originally set up for a case of a national terrorist attack on America, where they could relocate very important politicians who run the country, so they can hide them, put them in a safe place in case of a nuclear attack, of some kind of terrorist attack of a catastrophic proportion. And then FEMA then eventually transferred over to dealing with national disasters. As you've seen, we haven't had nothing catastrophic enough to actually worry about politicians need to be hidden. But we had a lot of catastrophic hurricanes and tsunamis, earthquakes, and such things. Sort of like what happened to Katrina. So FEMA camps are normally set up to house people who have been displaced. But there's a lot of conspiracies going around about FEMA camps, people. I can't confirm or deny that maybe these African American women are there. Truth is, we don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. No one knows where they are. Some mothers feel like the police are doing not enough to sit here and find them. Police say, well, just because we don't give them every little tidbit of information that we find or any lead that we come up with, they assume we're not doing work, but we're trying to follow up and build a case. We're doing our best to build the case, but a lot of these parents feel like just because we're not giving them every little bit of information that we're not doing our job. We're doing our jobs. The truth is, people, these African American women are the forgotten. They're the ones that's not noticed, because see, We talk about the media, and you hear Caucasian people often talk about the media and how police brutality is a huge thing. How the mainstream media is making a huge case about police brutality and highlighting it and making a big scope on it, putting a huge light on it, making it bigger than what it seems to be. But when you think about these African American women who are missing, you gotta ask yourself, where's the media outcry for them? When the last time you heard a story about one missing? When the last time you heard anything about African American women missing? Then there's other cases that you have to think about. See, when a child gets missing, a young child gets missing, there's an Amber Alert that comes out. Get an Amber Alert on your phone to let you know that a young child is missing. Keep a lookout for the car, the kidnapper. There's some kind of notification when a young child is missing. When an older person is missing or dealing with mental issues, they got something called Silver Alert that comes to your phone. What's the Silver Alert? It lets you know that a person with dementia, a person that's over a certain age of 64, is out missing and possibly in danger. But what about between the ages of 18 and 64? What's out there for them? What message do you receive? You're probably wondering. You ever heard of a Ashanti Alert? No, you probably don't. The Ashanti Alert was passed through Congress in 2018. What is the Ashanti Alert, people? It was for Ashanti Billy. Ashanti Billy was an African American woman who was kidnapped in 2017, September 2017, kidnapped and murdered. You may not have heard much about Ashanti Billy because just like many of these kidnapping, these missing African American women, you didn't hear much about them because the mainstream media didn't cover it. It wasn't sensational enough to sit here and cover and to put it out there in front of people. So you may not have heard about Ashanti Billy. You may not even heard about the Ashanti Alert. The point is, the Ashanti Alert passed Congress in 2018 and should be sending alerts to your phone. But let me ask you a question. With all these African American women who are still popping up missing, have you received the Ashanti Alert? Have you received any type of alert letting you know to keep a lookout for the African American woman is missing? No. You know why? Because when you go to a police station and you're talking about your loved one from 18 to 64 is missing, a lot of times the assumption is, they ran away. They just ran away. Give it 72 hours, give it a few days, they'll pop up. They'll get hungry, they'll get tired. Maybe they're on the drug binge. They're on the drug binge. They just out running around, they hanging out with their friends. Maybe they ran away with a boyfriend, or somebody you don't know about. So those 24 to 72 hours that you're sitting around waiting for your loved one to come back home, to contact you and let you know, all right, those are critical hours. Those are critical hours because that gives the person who kidnapped them a huge head start. Gives them a huge head start. That's your loved one laying in a creek, laying in a park, somewhere dying alone. No one looking for them. No one caring about them. What do we do? What do we do when we got 64,000 African American women missing right now? But there's no outcry in the media. There's no attention being brought to it. It's not sensationalized enough so that the media actually cares about to even broadcast about it. Yeah, there's groups and organizations, nonprofit organizations, who are working hard to try to find these African American women, find missing women, find missing African American people. But these are nonprofit organizations, and even though they're doing their best, they don't have the income, the resources to truly track down 64,000 up to 200,000 missing, 230,000 missing people. It's complicated, people. It's very complicated. It makes me concerned because, see, I have a wife, I have a mother, I have sisters, I have a newborn daughter. And when you hear about these things, let me be honest with you, on a personal note, I don't like my wife going to stores at a certain time. I don't sit here and tell my wife what to do. She ain't gonna listen to me if I did. I tell her not to watch Lifetime, and she still watches it. Men, they don't listen to us, all right? Our wives don't listen to us. No matter what we say, we ain't never right, okay? The point is, I don't like my wife going out at certain times and things because, I worry about what's going to happen. You hear about sex trafficking. You hear about sex trafficking. You hear about all these things and see there's not enough light going to sex trafficking. You hear about human trafficking. I just had a conversation with my son about human trafficking and how people's organs are being trafficked and stuff. He's like, he was asking me questions like, Dad, how is this possible? You're sharing stories. You go to a hotel because women want butt shots because they want their butts bigger, but they don't want to spend $10,000, $15,000 to go to Dr. Miami or someone like that. So they go to some person at a hotel or shady motel, and their organs pop up missing because kidneys are a rare thing that people need and want. Not a lot of people donate it. It makes you wonder, is this a case with these missing women where their organs are being harvested? Is this a situation where sex trafficking is the case? Maybe it's not FEMA camps and aliens. Maybe it is actual sexual trafficking, human trafficking that's at play here. The more important thing is, what can we do to help stop this, to curb these people being kidnapped? What can we do? Yes, we got parents who contact their kids every single day. Like I said, and I started this episode with, mothers that contact their daughters every day, speak to their children every day. Try to be in their children's lives. But still didn't protect that child from becoming a victim of this heinous crime, from becoming missing. So what do we do? Conversations with our children? Listen, I have conversations with my children all the time. I had a conversation with my son. And my daughter is too young right now, but I'll have a conversation with her when she gets older. But I have a conversation with my son. I was telling him, predators are not like on TV where you see the monsters under your bed and they got the big teeth and they're slobbering and they drooling, they got the big eyes, and the thick claws. Predators are not like that. Sometimes predators pretend to be your best friend. They try to be your best friend. They agree with you, They like all the same things that you like. They got a lot in common with you. They make you feel real comfortable. Comfortable enough that you drop your guard. You start to tell them your deepest, darkest secret. You tell them how, me and my mom don't really get along. Me and my dad don't really get along. I'm kind of estranged from my family, and I moved out here by myself. You got predators who sit in churches with you. A lot of times we go to church and we think because we're in church, we're in a safe place. But you'll be surprised at how many human traffickers hang out in churches, looking for that young girl on the choir, befriending her. Listen to all her sad stories, being a shoulder to cry on, with the whole time having the intentions of eventually setting her up and lining her up to get kidnapped. It's a strange world we live in, people. It's a dangerous world we live in. It gets scarier after we think about who can we trust. We often talk about loyalty in relationships. We talk about loyalty amongst our partners, but we don't ever think about loyalty amongst our friends. Loyalty amongst the people that we meet. Thought it was coincidental that you met this girl in a store when you was just out buying shoes, and she just happened to hit it off with you, and she liked the same music as you, the same food as you, and she has the same problems you had with your mom and your dad. She just moved out here as well, and you connect with this person, you bond with this person, you become comfortable with this person, so comfortable with this person that she says, hey, you should travel all to Miami with me, take on vacation with me, don't worry about it, all expenses paid. Only to find out that you never pop up again. You go missing off the earth. It's scary. It's scary having a daughter, because now I have to sit here and I have to realize that these are things and conversations I have with my daughter. I have to figure out how to protect my daughter, how to make my daughter important enough for the mainstream media to actually want to cover her. Make society want to pay attention to her and recognize her. Make people want to see her. Actually see her, notice her, care about her, that if something ever happens to one of our relatives, one of our loved ones, that they actually want to do something about it. The number sounds extraordinary, 64,000, 230,000, whatever the number may be, but let me ask you a question. How many African American women you heard about are missing? How much attention have you given? How much thought have you given? How many times did you turn on the media and you heard about it? Of course, yeah, you heard about police shootings and stuff, and yes, it happens all the time where police are killing unarmed black people. You hear about all the things that's going on with politicians and the politics and all such things. You hear about stimulus checks and all other kind of things, but what about these black women that are getting kidnapped? What about these people who are disappearing? Where are they at? You don't wonder? You not think about it? Do you care? What about if it's your relative? What about if it's your sister? What about if it's your daughter? What about if it's your mother, your aunt? Would you care then? Would it then come across your desk What about the fact that sometimes you have to convince police officers to actually care and take the case serious, that your daughter is not just a typical child that just ran away one day and just needed to blow off some steam, so she just disappeared without calling you or leaving a message? How do we protect our children? How do we protect ourselves? When we look at society and it leaves us out there as if we're not seen. We're invisible. A lot of us complain about the media and how they overblow things and how they constantly sensationalize police killings and police brutality amongst black people and amongst other things. The truth is, and I'm not saying it's because I'm part of the media, but the media reports on what you're cared about, what you're entertained by. What you're interested in is what they report on. So the fact that they're not reporting on these African American women being murdered, disappearing, just shows that society just doesn't care. That us as society, we just don't care. We don't recognize it. We're not interested to find out what happened to these women and why. So many people shed tears to it and they say it's sad. But what are you doing about it? Or you ask yourself, why haven't you ever received the Ashanti alert? I mean, I know I received the Amber Alerts no matter if it's 12 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I received those Amber Alerts. You know those Amber Alerts, they hit your phone all loud, no matter, even if you had it on vibrate, your phone just rings and you know you in the middle of an office or the middle of a library, your phone ringing all loud and you scrambling, trying to hurry up and shut it down. Letting you know the car name, the car that the kidnapper was in, possible kidnapper was in, where they were last seen, what the person looks like, height, weight. You know the Amber Alert, you've seen it. You got the silver alerts when an old person has wandered off because they may have dementia and they decide, you know what, I'm going to go for a stroll, and then they get lost, can't find their way home. You know, they need their medication, but what about that Ashanti alert? When people from ages 18 to 64 are popping up missing. And the first assumption that comes to your brain is that they ran away. Is it possible? Just, is it possible? There's more to it. I want to talk about one real quick before I run out of time. I want to talk about something that hits home because it hits close by. I'm going to say this young lady's name, and I'm going to say her first name, but it was a young lady named Nephi. If you lived in the Delaware Valley, you probably heard his name. You may have seen it in the local news, seen a picture of her. You may have even seen a video where there were stories about she was dragged out of her home, forced into a car, never seen again. And for a minute, you know, it circulated about Nephi and how she was lost. She had young children. It circulated around social media, you know, local news about Nephi. Where is Nephi? There was rumors about possible things that may have happened to her, possible things she may have been wrapped up into that may have led to her disappearance. But after a month or two, not even that, a few weeks, you notice that the news about Nephi started to fade. Nobody seemed to care as much anymore. That she started to disappear out of the public's eye. Media stopped covering it. Social media stopped sharing her picture. She just became another forgotten African American woman who just disappeared in thin air. Never found her body. Never found her remains. Never have a true understanding of why. Her children had to grow up never knowing what happened to her mother. Imagine how many women are dealing with this. Imagine how many children are dealing with this. How many mothers are mourning their lost child, never getting closure for where a child is. And I get the world's a big place and it's like a needle in a haystack trying to find these people. But the truth is, something needs to be done. You may be asking me, so Alan, what needs to be done? What should be done? What should be done about this? What can we do to change the tide on this? What can we do? We have to bring more awareness to human trafficking. We got to bring more awareness to sex trafficking. We have to put more behind fighting against this instead of trying to protect the people who are doing it. You know, you had the, what's his name, Juan Epstein or Jeff Epstein, who was big with the political people, and you know, he was up there, had a whole train of women coming in and out of his house, had his wife or his girlfriend even recruiting women, thinking they're coming for a job, then they're led into sexual acts. And when these ladies try to speak up about it, they just get quiet. We gotta stop silencing people and learn to listen. We gotta stop trying to hide from things that make us uncomfortable and learn to speak about it and have conversations about it. We have to learn to shine light on the things that we choose to hide in the darkness. What we need to do is we need to bring more awareness to the Shanti alerts and make sure that they actually get to the phone. We have to stop relying on the mainstream media to care about us, to speak about us, to transfer the information about us. We have social media, and we use social media to promote our businesses. We use social media to promote our new t-shirt business. We use social media to promote our ignorance, to argue, to fight, to sell flash dances, to learn about the new concerts. We need to use that same social media to bring awareness to the fact that there's a lot of African American women who are disappearing, that people don't care about, that the mainstream world and society just doesn't care about. We need to recognize that our sisters, our mothers, our aunts, our brothers, our fathers, our uncles are popping up missing, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So if they're not going to do a damn thing about it, what we're going to do? We're going to sit here and complain about it, or we're going to lift our spirits up, lift our heads up, lift ourselves up, and say, yo, we're going to do something about it. We're going to speak about it. We're going to search for them. We're going to bring awareness to them. We're not going to stop bringing awareness to them because, after a few weeks, it's old news and we're moving on to what's happening next. The new Power is coming out. The new Shy is coming out. So, we want to talk about what happened on Power, the Book of Ghosts. We want to talk about what's going on happening on the Shy. Now, we need to bring more awareness to what's going on. You remember last season of Shy? See, that whole season was dedicated to a young lady being kidnapped. The whole time, what people started doing. Y'all watch the Shy? For all y'all watch the Shy, what happened? But y'all didn't. Spoiler alert, turn it up now. Because if you want to, play catch up and you want to watch them, they spoil some things, what happened? That young lady got kidnapped, and at first, it started out, everybody looking for her, everybody's so concerned. Then it turned to, look at her social media and the type of pictures that she was posting. Oh my gosh, look, all these sexual pictures. She was just in all kinds of things. So now people don't want to really look for it. Even groups that was assigned to look for missing young black women, they start turning off. Nah, we don't want to touch that. We don't want to go near that. No, because she probably asked for herself to be kidnapped. Look how she was sitting there putting herself out there. She asked for that. Look at the type of behavior she was conducting. She asked for that, so we ain't even looking for her no more. Some people wrote her off that she was dead. Oh, that girl's gone, man. She's been gone too long. She was dead. It took one man who needed to redeem himself, who felt the need to redeem himself for his previous actions, for something he did before, to truly not give up. Made it his life mission to find her. And if he didn't, who knows what happened to this young lady? Who knows if she would ever been found? Now, this is a fiction story. This is fiction. This wasn't true. But think about this in the reality of this. Think about it in the context of this. That story is real because that's someone's daughter's story. That's someone's aunt's story. That's someone's mother's story. That's someone's niece's story. That's someone's granddaughter's story. Right now, that's someone's story. Somebody's daughter right now, somebody's mother, their aunt, their cousin is right now hidden in somebody's basement, locked up in somebody's house. And because you're looking at her illicit behavior or some of the mistakes she may have made on social media, because maybe she was young, maybe she wasn't informed, you blaming that for her being disappearance. You blaming that for what happened to her, and you writing it off as, oh, she deserved that. She had that coming because of her choices. As the Bible says, check the speck in your eye before you, or is it check the plank in your eye before you check the speck in mine? And what that means is this. Before you judge somebody about the mistakes and the choices they made, take a look at your own life and look at the mistakes you made. Take a stroll back through your social media and your posts and see some of the insecure and some of the things you wrote. I promise you, you had a few slip-ups. I know I did. I got a few moments I'm not so proud of. I had choices I made that I'm not so proud of, but I try to grow from my moments. But some of us don't get the opportunity to grow from them. Some of us get judged based off our previous acts. And no one cares about what happened to us. Truly trying to fight for us. Truly trying to fight to find us because you're judging people off their previous acts. You're judging these women off of things they posted on social media and you think that that's okay. It's not. Their life still matters. You can't sit here and tell me Black Lives Matter and then say all lives matter, but at the same time have this amount of women. What is it, 64 to 230,000 African American women missing? Over 300,000 African American people missing? You can't sit here and tell me Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, but you're not sitting here broadcasting this. There's not active People actively looking for these people, finding out what's happening to these people, whether it's sex trafficking, human trafficking, they locked up in FEMA camps, or hell, an alien beamed down and taking them up so we can probe them. Whatever the case is, you can't tell me these people's lives matter, but we're doing the bare minimum to truly find and identify where they are. We allow these mothers to go to bed every night wondering what happened to their children, never getting closure for the loss of their loved one. You can't sit here and tell me that, people. If you truly care right now, find out how you can help. Find out where you can donate money to people who are really actively searching for these lost African American women, African American men, African American people, for these lost people. If you truly care, then ask yourself this: why is the Ashanti alert not showing up on your phone for when people are missing between the ages of 18 and 64? Ask yourself that. When we're done asking yourself that, ask in Congress, if you passed this in 2018 and it's 2021, why am I not seeing these alerts? Why am I not notified about these alerts? Why am I not notified about this? Then you gotta ask the police and put them on blast. You put them on blast about police brutality, put them on blast. I get it. I know that y'all are overworked. I know that police are overworked and they can't find every single person. I know they can't give you every minute detail of the case. I know they're trying to build the case, but you gotta ask them, why do I have to convince you that my child has been kidnapped? Why do I have to go out my way to prove to you that my child hasn't run away? Why do I have to go out my way to prove to you that my child was not part of illicit or illegal behavior? Why do I have to prove something to you? Then you have to ask yourself this question: why do people that look like us, people that think like us, that live like us, is sitting there so damn judgmental of us when one of our people are missing? To sit here and ask, and the first thing they run to is looking for the most worst, heinous thing that they've possibly done in their past as the reason that they're missing. At some point, we have to look at ourselves and say, listen, if we truly want to change the tide of the way things are going, we have to change our behavior and how we view things. We cannot no longer sit here and wait for the mainstream media to shine a light on the things that affect us. At some point now, we have social media. We have our own platforms, no matter how big or small it is, and we have to use that platform to lift up our voices, to let it be heard, so we can bring light to the people who are voiceless, to the people who are missing. We have to make sure that they still matter, that we still are going to fight for them until we know what happened to them, until we get true justice for them. I'm asking you, people, this is my war cry, that we all stand up and we fight for our lives of our missing black women. For too long, we have ignored them. For too long, we have left them unprotected. For too long, we have disrespected our black women. We have judged them. It's time for us to stop. It's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to fight back. Not only just for our homes, not only for our future, not only for justice, but for the black women who birthed us. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Past the Present Podcast. As usual, hit the like button, comment, subscribe to my channel, Henry's House Media Production. Hit me up on Facebook, Past Present, Instagram, Alan the Great. Let me know what your thoughts are on this show. If you would like to be a part of the show or book me for speaking engagements, you can always hit me up. Like I said, Facebook, Past Present, Instagram, Alan the Great. I want to thank y'all for joining me for this episode. And until next time, I see you people. I only got one thing left to say, y'all. Stay tuned. Peace.